Rabbi said, you know the famous story. Question was, if you say Avarachmim or not. So they asked an old timer, what's the minik? So he said, the minik is to fight about it. That's the famous story. The minik is, the truth of the matter is that Rabbi Goldman was relying on a very good source. The article is a very good source. And it's dochsech. Rabbi Goldman says, I said differently last year. It's possible that Yesus Torah Luach said differently last year. That could also be. No, but what's mashma from his lashon is that if you don't say tomorrow, you also don't say before mincha. So there are some people that say tomorrow. So, but if you don't say tomorrow, you don't say before mincha. That's what's mashma from Rabbi. Yeah.
They said we're never late, so we can say it.
Yeah. So anyway, we are holding by the fifth parak, Mishna Ches and Mishna Tes, sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishma Spasi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain, also Lilu Nishmas David ben Chaim, Lefu Shalem Fel Yomis ben Chayesar, Yaakov ben Bas Yaleya, Schus of Avram and Yom ben Ishma Malki Yehudis, by Yoel Klugman and family, and also the Lefu Shalem for Chayrach Leto Bas Shalamis, for Rivka Bas Shiraleya, for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka, for Hinda Bas Chayesar, Meir ben Chayesar, Mishmeir ben Esther Fradel, Chana Bas Shashabina. They should all have a refuah shalema b'seich shar chayla Yisrael. So Yayin Nesach Aser, Yayin Nesach is forbidden, v'oiser b'kolshu, and because of the chumrah of Avoda Zara, it asers even if a small amount falls into other wine. Yayin b'yayin, when it's min b'mina. If it's Yayin Nesach and Yayin, and Mayim b'Mayim. There's also Mayim Nesach. They could also pour a water libation if it gets mixed into water. B'kolshu. Yayin b'Mayim or Mayim b'Yayin, but if it's wine into water or water into wine, then b'nois in tam. It's only also if it imparts a flavor. So if it's less than a 60th, it's not going to impart a flavor. If it's a 60th, it'll impart a flavor. Zakla, min b'minoi b'mashu. If it falls into its same type, it's even in the smallest amount. Mishamloi ben minoi b'nois in tam, and that which imparts flavor. Remember, we said that the Gemara says that you could ask a goyish cook to taste it to see if there's a flavor, and if there's no goyish cook, then the shear is b'shishim. Elu asurin. The Mishnah now tells us the following aser. V'oisim b'kol, and they aser even in a minuscule amount. Yayin Nesach, the wine that's poured libation for an idol. V'avoda Zara, if let's say one getchke gets mixed up with 1,000 other figurines, they all become aser. V'oris levuvin, remember we said oris levuvin is takruvas avoda Zara, because what they do is they cut out a circular hole around the hide and they pull out the heart alive. If that gets mixed up, pieces of that hide get mixed up with other hide. V'shar niskel, a shar that was supposed to be stoned because it killed someone, and after it was condemned, it got mixed up with other shvarim. V'egla rufa, a heifer that you break its neck because of an unsolved homicide. So the closest city brings an egla rufa, and once they bring it down to the Nachal Esan, it is Asur B'Hana. If it then gets mixed up with a bunch of other eglas, they're all Asur. V'tzipare Mitzayra, the birds of a Mitzayra, a leper, when he's in his purification ceremony, he has to bring 2 birds. The one that he slaughters is Asur B'Hana, the other one is sent away. But the one that he slaughters, if after he slaughters it, it gets mixed up with a whole bunch of other slaughtered birds, they're all aser. Usar nazir, the hair of a nazir. The hair of a nazir, they cut it off, and if that hair is supposed to be burnt, tachas adud, under the vat of the shlamim, if that hair gets mixed up with other hairs, so they all become asur, it should be a nightmare for sheitlach. Upeter chamar, and the peter chamar is if they redeemed the firstborn male donkey, it has to be redeemed with a sheep. If it's not redeemed, it's asabana. If that firstborn donkey gets mixed up with 1,000 other donkeys, they're all asa. And ubasa b'cholav, and meat that was cooked with milk. The chulin shenishchatu be'azara, and chulin that was slaughtered in the azara. That means you took an animal that wasn't a carbon and you slaughtered it in the azara, and then it got mixed up with other meat. Hari'elu asurim, they're asur, v'oisim b'kol shehein, and they asur even in the smallest amount. I also want to announce that this morning, the breakfast by Reb Shlomo Rosenberg was a very big success. A lot of people came out, but if you didn't manage to make it, Dov Selkowitz just gave me a check for Hatzalah, and I will get it to them. If anybody else wants to give me a check for Hatzalah, I will make sure to get it to Reb Shlomo. And it is a really, really worthy need. And it's not a need for others. It's not like we're collecting for, Yisayimim in Eretz Yisrael or poor people. We're collecting for our own protection. I said it this morning. I spoke there, and I said that in our budgetary pie, we spend a tremendous amount of our money on insurance. Car insurance, medical insurance, fire insurance, ring insurance, a tremendous amount of insurance. None of those payments can protect us. Can only offer us compensation in case chas v'shalom something happens. But Hatzalah is a protection for us. Really is a protection. And no one knows at any given moment when they might need Hatzalah. I have one of my wife's daughters just came back from a very successful trip to Eretz Yisrael. She went down her stairs and she slipped five steps. She banged her head. As soon as she felt dizzy, she called Hatzalah. We know his wife isn't pregnant. Maybe she had the baby already. They're singing already. Anyway, so if anybody wants to give me a check for Hatzalah, they could do so. We will follow up Marav with a few words, and then we will count Svira and have the Daf Yomi.